From center field at Lexington High School in Lexington, Mass., this is Lexington Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Tonight, it's the Blue Sox with a record of 12-5, third in the ICL, hosting the Melrose Americans with a record of 9-12, seventh in the ICL. Good evening, everybody. I'm Sam Feely, ready to bring you the play-by-play story. The Blue Sox have won 6 of their last 8 since their last loss, in their last meeting against the Americans, 2-1 on a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 7th. The Melrose Americans have played a lot more since that game, but in their last 7 are 0-7. And they were at the top of the standings a couple of weeks ago. Now they find themselves one game out of the ICL playoff hunt, and here they are against the team that they surprised with that walk-off win. They were down 1-0 going into the bottom of the 6th, and the game-time run scored on an error. And then the walk-off home run by John Jennings won it for the Melrose Americans. That was back on June 20th. Let's see what the Blue Sox have in store for the Americans tonight. Starting line for the Americans are their traditional navy blue jerseys with red letters and numbers, red and white trim, and the white pants, and the navy blue cap with the American flag. Charlie Hughey's going to lead it off at short, followed by Will Shackelford at third. Chris Hopkins is the DH. John Jennings is behind the plate. Casey Santos Ocampo is at second. Dave Center is in left. Kyle Cortese is at first. Mike Gaddu is in right, and Dan Cacciolo rounds out the lineup in center. On the mound for the Melrose Americans is Sean Smeglin. Smeglin will be making his 10th appearance of the season, 1-2 with 2 saves and a .369 ERA in 24 2/3 innings. He's allowed 25 hits, 13 runs, all of which are earned, walked 11, struck out 17, surrendered 1 home run, uncorked 2 wild pitches, and committed 1 balk. For the Blue Sox in the classic white pinstripe jerseys with the navy blue sleeves and the navy blue cap, Aaron Barbosa is going to lead it off in center field, followed by Dominic Zare in left. Ross Curley is at short. Alex Wojcik is at first. Dan Graham is the DH. Jeff Vigers is behind the plate. Justin Silvestro is at second. Thomas Russo is at third. And Josue Feliciano rounds out the lineup in right field. On the mound for the Blue Sox is the veteran ace, Matt Karras. Karras will be making his 4th appearance of the season, 1-0 with a .410 ERA, 13 2/3 innings, 16 hits, 8 earned runs allowed, 3 walks, 11 strikeouts, 1 home run allowed. His last appearance came against Watertown on July 2nd, when 4 2/3 innings, allowed 7 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. His lone win of the season came on June 19th against Somerville. Smeglin, for all the games he's pitched in this year, 9 out of a possible 21 thus far, he hasn't faced the Blue Sox. He's faced Watertown twice, Andre 3 times, and the Alabrandis twice. His last appearance came on July 12th, 3 innings, 4 hits, 5 walks, 5 runs, 6 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Rick DeAngelis and Orazio Azzarello going over the ground rules with our umpire tonight, Rick Pooling calling the balls and strikes, and Glenn Cole working the bases. So Friday night lights. Haven't had a whole lot of Friday night home games this year, have the Blue Sox, but it's always a treat. Every night is a good night to win a game, but especially Friday night. And let's see if the Blue Sox can do that and pull even with Wakefield and Watertown in the win column. Dan Graham was kind enough to loan me a pocket radar gun, so we'll see if we can get some pitch velocities on you from tonight's hurlers. I don't know. I'm more focused on the pitch velocity right now. I don't think we're going full stat cash just yet, Bruce. Oh, man. There's just so much involved that I don't think we have the budget for. And per usual, with Matt Karras taking the mound, it's the Dropkick Murphys rendition of Amazing Grace, which he chooses to come out to as a tribute to his father. Jeff Viger's getting the start behind the plate tonight for the Blue Sox. Vigers will be playing just his 4th game this year. And his first game since June 19th. Matt Karras, the first in a long line of Blue Sox starters in recent years who need no time at all to warm up between innings. Gets all his warm-up tosses at before the game and in the first inning, and then he's a fast worker at that. His pace slows down, as you would expect with runners on base, but overall he has one of the fastest paces in the Intercity League, and you'll see a two-seamer, cutter, changeup, and slider from the Gettysburg College product. So Jeff Vigers fires the ball to second, and we are ready for some baseball with Charlie Hughey, the shortstop, leading things off. Charlie wearing number 23, standing in from the right side against the right-hander, Karras. And Hughey batting .296 with 4 doubles and 7 RBIs. He's also drawn 11 walks, which leads the Americans. The first pitch fired at 8:12 is on the inside corner. 4 strike 1, we're underway. .74 miles an hour on that slider there, and it's 0-2. Fouled off, remains 0-2. Karras' fastball tops off in about the mid-80s. This is chopped up the middle. Curly scoops, can't handle it, and Hughey's going to reach. So that'll be an E6. And the leadoff man is aboard for Will Shackelford, the third baseman. Shackelford batting .288 with 2 doubles and 9 RBIs. And that's low for ball 1. That's fouled off, and that'll even the count at 1. One and one to Shackelford, who grounds this one to the left side. Takes a tough hop on Curly, and they will just get the force on the lead runner, Hughey. Goes 6-4, and a fielder's choice allows Shackelford to reach. So 1 on with 1 out, and that'll bring up Chris Hopkins, the DH. Hopkins, .321, 4 doubles, 1 triple, 1 homer, and 8 RBIs. And he lines this one down the left field line, but that's a foul ball for strike 1. 4 doubles, 1 triple, 1 homer, and 8 RBIs, but that just scratches the surface of the offensive potential of this Melrose lineup, as this is lined into left field for a base hit. It'll be first and second, 1 out for John Jennings, probably the most dangerous hitter, not just in the Melrose lineup, but arguably in the entire Interstate League right now. Coming into play batting .446 with 6 doubles, 1 triple, 3 homers, and 20 RBIs. 20 RBIs are tied with Logan Gillis of Watertown for the league lead. And he lines this one to the left side through for a base hit. This could plate another run as it's bobbled in left field by Zaire. It gets past him, and on his way to second is Jennings. So Melrose out to a 1-0 lead. That should be a hit, an RBI, and an E7, right? So first pitch swinging, Jennings is aboard. And this is skied into right field. It's caught by Feliciano. Will uncork a strong throw to the plate, but it will be cut off by Wojtek. Americans not wasting any time here, getting 2 quick runs with now 2 out here in the top of the first. Jennings holds at second. And that was Casey Santos Ocampo picking up the sac fly and the RBI. And Santos Ocampo picks up his 11th RBI of the season. And they appealed to third, and they ruled he was safe, so. Dave Center, first pitch swinging, grounds this one to the right side. Late break by Karras, and he gets to the bag in time for the 3-1 put out that retires the side. So a quick inning, but it's 2 runs on 2 hits, 2 errors, and 1 left. And after half an inning, it is the Americans 2 and the Blue Sox coming up. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email Sam at localsportsproductions.com for more information. Well, yeah, we were just having a discussion just now, Bruce and I, while we were off air about what do you call a game that you win with basically a defensive walk-off in the way that Dom Zaire won the game on Monday night, throwing out the potential game-tying run at the plate to end the game. I mean, is there a term? Is there a specific term for a defensive walk-off you can think of? let us know on Twitter at LSP37. Here's Aaron Barbosa, who takes ball 1. This is the second time this season the Blue Sox have fallen behind 2-0 after a half an inning. The last time they ended up losing that game 3-2 to Malden in 8 innings. It's down and away, 2-0 to Barbosa. Barbosa, 478, coming into play. Takes ball 3, 3-0. 478, 11 hits, all singles, 1 RBI, 5 walks. He'll take strike 1, and now we'll go to work. Not going to be led on by Smeglin that easily. The 3-1. Taken for strike 2. So Smeglin back into the count, 3-2. Just 12 pitches in that first inning for Karras, 11 for strikes. This is lined, scooped up, and booted by the second baseman, Santos Ocampo. And just like the top of the first, the bottom of the first begins with a leadoff error. So Barbosa and his speed at first base. Barbosa, 6 of 6 in stolen base attempts. Only Blue Sox with multiple steals on the year. Here's Dom Zaire, the left fielder, as the throw over to first is not in time to get Barbosa. Another throw over to first. Barbosa has played, Zaire rather, just had 1 hit and 1 at bat, as that's down and in for ball 1. And that alone at bat came on July 12th against the Yellow Brandies. That sails over the head of the catcher Jennings. Barbosa went back to first, but now goes back to second. That'll be a wild pitch. And the Blue Sox first run of the game now in scoring position with nobody out and a hitter's count to Zaire. Zaire floats this one down the right field line, and this will be a basket catch by the first baseman, Cortese. So a good play there by Cortese to put away Zaire on a little Texas leaguer down the first base line. So that'll bring up Ross Curley. Ross batting .302 with 2 homers and 8 RBIs. And that runs inside for ball 1. Ross tied for third on the team in RBIs with Justin Silvestro. This is chopped up the middle, out of the reach of Smeglin, scooped up by the shortstop Hughie, on to first. Advancing to third is Barbosa, but they're now 2 away. So let's see what Alex Wojcik can do. This is Wojcik, time to iron. Wojcik, 211, 1 homer, 4 RBIs. Takes down the middle for strike 1. Wojcik had the last 2 games off. Last played against Malden on July 9th. 0 for 1. That's blocked, and it gets away from Jennings, but he keeps it in front of him. So it's 1-1. Wojcik's best game of the season came on July 2nd. Against the Reds, 1 homer, 3 RBIs. 2-1. Wojcik pops this one foul, and it's 2-2. And Blue Sox had the runner at second with nobody out. You'd hate to see that opportunity go to waste after falling behind 2-0 after half an inning with one of your leaders and your ace on the mound. Now Smeglin steps off the rubber. Barbosa at third, reached on an error. Man's the second on a wild pitch, but he's at third now. 2 out, and that's low, blocked by Jennings. And the count will be full. Dan Graham is on deck. Popped up into foul territory. Jennings looking for it, and it drops between him and the first baseman, Cortese. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a baseball player, so I didn't think it was that tough. But, yeah, it's right underneath the light tower where that ball is. So, yeah, I understand why that's a tough play, but, yeah. So, yep. Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming up. And this is down the third baseline, foul. Barbosa better be glad it didn't hit him. He would have been out, right?
No, if he's in foul territory,
oh.
Okay.
Yeah. He did jump. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The pitch gets away from Jennings. He'll throw down to first, and that ends the inning, and Smeglin works around the leadoff error. After one complete, Americans 2, Blue Sox nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. So one of the spectators confirmed what we thought, and the ball hit Barbosa in foul territory. So that was what the result of that one play there was. So here we go to the top of the second, bottom third of the order due up for the Americans, and that is strike 1 to Kyle Cortese, the first baseman. Karras off a 12-pitch first inning, which felt longer. You know, any inning feels longer when you allow 2 runs. It's now 1-1. This is into left center field. Barbosa going back, and it's off the left center field fence, and coasting into second with a leadoff double is Cortese. Nice opposite field power there by Cortese. Cortese picks up his first hit of the season after being 0 for 16 to begin the year. And they're going to appeal to first, and they say he was safe. He did hit first base. So that'll bring up Mike Gaddu in a possible sacrifice situation. Gaddu, .235 hitter with 1 RBI. And Karras spins back towards second. Karras getting hit around here. And throw down to third. And on the pass ball, I believe. I was... Well, there... I initially thought that hit Gadoo. DeAngelis is arguing that it hit Gadoo's bat and it should be a foul ball. So it is a foul ball. I believe. Did they just rule it a foul ball? Yeah, so it's a foul ball, so Cortese has to go back to second. So there's a break for the Blue Sox, and it's 0-1. Kevin Burgoyne coming out to home plate to talk to Rick Pooling, but that'll be the end of that. Thank you. This is lined, underneath the glove of Russo, trickles into left field. Being waved around third is Cortese, the throw to the plate. They got him. So Dominic Zare throws out another runner at home plate. Advancing to second on the play is Gadoo. So still runner at second, but now one out. And that'll bring up Dan Cacciola, the center fielder. That's just outside for ball one. Yeah, second time in as many games. There cuts down a runner at home plate. This is lined the other way in foul. This one keeps it within 2 for the Blue Sox. Cacciola swings and misses, and he's behind 1-2. Cacciola, 262 hitter with 1 double and 4 RBIs. It's already the 4 hits and the first strikeout of the ball game there for Karras as Cacciola swings and misses. And the lineup turns over for Charlie Hughey, who reached on an error to begin the ball game. And Hughey pops this one up. Silvestro makes the catch. So it looked like it could have been another crooked number for the Americans, but instead they get nothing on 2 hits and 1 left. After 1.5, it is still the Americans 2 and the Blue Sox nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon LSP37, Snapchat LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. Dan Graham will lead things off here in the bottom of the second with his family cheering him on behind him, right behind home plate. Graham had the game-tying RBI single Monday night, as that's outside for ball 1. Already told you about his accolades in his career. This year batting just .240, but has also drawn 2 walks, and the count is even 1-1. 19 pitches in that first inning for Smeglin, only 10 for strikes. That runs down in, and it's 2-1. Threw almost as many pitches in the first inning as Karras has thrown through the first two combined. Down and away, 3-1. Graham, Vigers, and Silvestro, some longtime Blue Sox, due up here this inning. And Graham fouls this one down the first base line, and a nice little olay there in the first base coach's box by Morgan Brown. Full count to Grammer. And the payoff pitch. Down the first base line, another foul ball. So Barbosa, Wojtek, and now Graham making Smeglin sweat. This is a guy that has a lot of innings under his belt this year. This is into left field, and this will be caught by the left fielder center, and that is out number 1. So that'll bring up Jeff Vigers, the catcher.
Isn't center playing the wrong position?
Vigo swings at the first pitch and fouls it off for strike 1. Vigers playing in his 4th game this season, 2 for 8. No RBIs, but has drawn 3 walks. It's good for a .455 on-base percentage. That skips to the backstop, 1-1. Pop foul into the screen, and it's 1-2. Fouled off. On to Worthen Road. Official broadcast. Smeglin's pitched 24 2/3 innings this year. Not that far up the leaderboard, but it's more than anybody on the Blue Sox has pitched this year. There's a little floater down the left field line, which will be caught in foul territory by the third baseman Shackelford for out number 2. So let's see what Justin Silvestro can do with 2 outs and the base is empty. Stroh batting .286 with 2 doubles and 8 RBIs. And he takes on the outside corner, strike 1. One and one. Blue Sox have not had, the trademark Blue Sox offensive explosion really at all this year that we've come to expect a few times every summer. Most they've scored in one game this year is 9. Takes a chunk out of a car on Worthen Road, and it's 2-2. This is grounded to the right side onto Santos Ocampo and onto Cortese for a 1-2-3 inning for Sean Smeglin. He's retired 6 in a row, and after 2 complete, it is still the Americans 2 and the Blue Sox nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, 2 left for the Americans. No runs, no hits, 2 errors, and 1 left for the Blue Sox as we begin the top of the third with the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up: Shackelford, Hopkins, and Jennings. Shackelford reached on a fielder's choice and scored his first time up. And he's going to try and bunt, and Vigers could have made the play on it, but the bunt went behind him instead of in front of him, and it lost sight of it, so it'll drop for strike 1. Shackelford, a .288 hitter coming into play tonight. Changeup skips to the backstop for ball 1 to even the count. Foul down the right field line. Wojtek will give it a couple of steps and then retreat as it's 1-2. Into right center field on his horse is Feliciano, but it will be Barbosa coming over to make the catch for out number 1. So Karras retires the leadoff hitter for the first time tonight, and that'll bring up Chris Hopkins. Singled and scored. Ball 1. Outside with a changeup, and it's 1-1. Into center field, Barbosa, and it'll be dropped. It'll drop in front of Zaire instead for a base hit. And that's hit number 5 of the ball game, the second hit of the ball game for Hopkins. Jennings takes strike 1. Jennings had an RBI single. His first time up. Oh, 0-2 the count. Jennings, 21 RBIs after that RBI single earlier. Puts him in the league lead by himself. .446 hitter. Reaches for it and pops it foul. This is smoked into right center field. Back goes Feliciano. Now comes in towards center field and makes the catch on the run for out number 2. So 2 down with a runner at first for Casey Santos Ocampo to sacrifice flies last time up. Picking up his 11th RBI of the season. Batting just a skosh under 300. And the pitch. Upstairs for ball 1. Changeup just clipping 60 there for Karras, and it's 1-2. This is line down the left field line. That'll be into the corner for a fair ball. Hung him a slider there, and now the throw into second skips away from Curley, but it's backed up by Wojtek. So no run scores on the play, but it's now second and third with 2 out. That'll be a double for Ocampo, and that'll bring up Dave Center. Coming into play bank, 344 with 3 homers and 15 RBIs. And he takes upstairs ball 1. Center grounded out 3-1 to end the first. And he fouls this one off to even the count at 1. Hopkins at third, Santos Ocampo at second. 2 outs. Center hoping to double the Americans' lead here. He swings and misses at a slider down and away, though, and it's 1-2. Try that slider down and away again. It's grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes another. The throw to the plate is not in time. It's a 2-run single for Dave Center on a 1-2 pitch, and the Americans lead 4-0. The Americans unleashing some frustration here on the Blue Sox. Down and in for ball 1 to Kyle Cortese. Led off the last inning with a double. Center picks up RBIs 16 and 17. 1-1 the count. Fastball misses, and it's 2-1. Lined up the middle and through for a base hit. Center will hold at second, but it's first and second as the hit parade continues for the Blue Sox. Four hits in the inning. Karras has been 1 strike away from getting out of this twice. But he allowed a double to Santos Ocampo that put runners at second and third. Then he allowed the 2-strike single to Dave Center that plated 2 runs. And now here we are with first and second. Nobody, 2 out rather. It's not that desperate. And the game possibly at a breaking point here with Mike Gadu coming up. Gadu singled his first time up. And he swings and misses for strike 1. Matt Karras has not been as sharp this year. Not the Matt Karras we're used to. 4.10 ERA coming into play as that's down and away for ball 1. Karras allowed, that misses outside, 2-1. Karras allowed 1 earned run in his 5 starts, in his 5 appearances last year. He's allowed 8 in, and now, I should say 10 earned runs through 3+ appearances this year. So it's 3-1 now. Danger of loading the bases for the number 9 hitter, Dan Cacciola. Fouled off. So Cortese 2 for 2 after not getting a hit through his first 16 at-bats this year. Runners will be off of this pitch, and Karras needs this one badly. And Karras spins back towards second. A walk wouldn't be the end of the world. It would at least not allow a run to score, but you need this out. This is a broken back grounder to second. Slow roller to Silvestro. Fires on to first. And the inning is over, but the Americans get 2 more runs on 4 more hits and leave 2. After 2.5, Americans 4, Blue Sox nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD copy of this or any past LSP video broadcast or one of several different designs of bumper stickers. Visit localsportsproductions.com/store or the LSP Facebook page after the game to place your order. And remember, all orders within the continental United States come with free shipping. So Matt Karras threw 20 pitches through the first 2 innings. He threw 30 in the 3rd inning alone. So what will the Blue Sox do to respond? Down 4-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd. Thomas Russo to lead things off. And Tommy Two Bags fouls this one onto Worthen Road for strike 1. That sounded healthy. Down in 1-1. I'm glad he didn't say red car. 1-1 the count to Russo. It's 2-1. Russo batting .321 with 4 doubles and 6 RBIs. He pops this one up on the infield. Coming into foul territory is Shackelford, and he makes the catch for out number 1. So that'll bring up Josue Feliciano, the right fielder. Sway takes inside ball 1. That's one way to prevent a bunt. Sway 167 with 1 RBI. 4 hits and 5 walks and 7 runs scored. That's a strike. Looked to be in the dirt, but it's 1-1. And Sway offered at that bunt attempt, so it'll be 1-2. Lone base runner for the Blue Sox tonight reached on an error to begin the bottom of the 1st, and that's Barbosa, who's on deck. The 1-2 to Sway, and that hit him. So you got good speed at first and good speed at the plate. This could be a tough double play opportunity if that's the route Smeglin wants to go. So 2 base runners tonight for the Blue Sox, and neither of them got a hit. An error and a hit batsman. Barbosa, after the Blue Sox were down 2-0 after half an inning, it looked like the Blue Sox were going to get something going when Barbosa found himself at second with nobody out, but nothing came of that. 1-0 the count to Barbs. Barbosa just playing in his 8th game of the season, but is an invaluable member of the Blue Sox offense when he is in there. Throw over to first and Feliciano back diving. Barbosa coming into play batting .478 and 23 at-bats. Another throw over to first. Feliciano back safely. Feliciano's hit by pitch ends a streak of 7 straight retired by Smeglin. And the pitch, and that hit him. So, first and second, with 1 out, both with good speed for Dom Zaire. Zaire popped up to the first baseman his first time up in the first. He's had an adventure in left field tonight, committed an error, but also thrown out a runner at home. And he bloops this one, caught by the second baseman, Santos Ocampo, for out number 2. So it'll be up to Ross Curley to try and cash in on this opportunity. Curley grounded out to his opposite number, Hughie, his first time up in the first. Blue Sox need at least 1 here. And that's low for ball 1. Smeglin's already thrown 1 wild pitch, and he's been wild with a couple of others as well. And Curley hits this one into right center field. Back goes Cacciola, and he will run it down for the out that retires the side. Ross bidding for his 3rd home run of the season, but comes up short. And after 3 complete, it is still the Americans 4 and the Blue Sox nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. LSP's next broadcast is Sunday night at 7:25 p.m. when the Blue Sox visit the Watertown Reds. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand, or on the LSP YouTube channel, or buy a DVD of the game at the LSP store. Four runs, 8 hits, 1 error, 4 left for the Americans. No runs, no hits, 2 errors, and 3 left for the Blue Sox through 3 innings. 9-1-2 due up for the for the Americans rather here in the top of the 4th. Dan Cacciola takes ball 1. Cacciola 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And he pops this one up, coming towards the backstop. Vigers makes the basket catch for out number 1. Karras could use a quick out after that 30-pitch inning last inning. Lap turns over for Charlie Hughie, who's 0 for 2. The number 1 and the number 9 hitters haven't been a problem for Karras. Everybody else has been a struggle, it seems, including the middle third of the order, who are, of course, the big boppers for the Americans lineup. 2-0 the count to Hughie. And even the number 7 hitter, Kyle Cortese, who hadn't had a hit this year to this point. He's just got a single and a double tonight. I know it was originally scheduled for 5:15, but they changed it. Yeah, you saw that? Yep. Yeah. Yep. Lined into center field, and Hughie picks up his first base hit. He's 1 for 3, and there's a 1-out base runner for the Americans. They've had a man on in every inning. So that'll bring up Will Shackelford. He's 0 for 2. Reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the first. Flew out to center, leading off the third. So it's just Shackelford and Cacciola who don't have a hit tonight for the Americans. 9 hits already through 3 1/3. And this weird, wacky, wonderful season that the ICL is having continues. Americans have lost 7 straight, and here they are. They've scored the most runs, but they've also allowed the most runs. And here they are up 4-0 on the Lexington Blue Sox, who are trying to pull even in the win column for first place. Could put a dent in those plans. And at the same time, snap their 7-game losing streak. Gone from top of the standings to out of the playoff picture as it stands right now in the span of a couple of weeks. But this is why they play the games. You think this regular season has been wild? I can't wait to see what the playoffs bring. 0-2 will have to wait. Throw over to first, and back safely is Hughie. Kind of some cartoonish reactions from the Blue Sox dugout. Another throw to first. He's back safely. Hughie is 3 for 3 in stolen base attempts this season, so no wonder they've got an eye on him. This is into right center field and down for a base hit. Hughie's going to head for third, and he's going to put on the brakes as Feliciano rifles it back into the infield. It gets away from Russo, however. Now the runners are going to get to second and third. E9 or E5? I mean, it's a base hit plus an error. Is it an E9 or E5 is the question. All right. So it's a single and an E5. Third error committed by the Blue Sox tonight. And here we are with second and third. 1 out, and the heart of the order coming to the plate for the Americans. Chris Hopkins, 2 for 2, 2 singles and 2 runs scored. He could knock out Karras with a base hit right here. Infield comes in, and the pitch is low for ball 1. 10 hits for the Americans. Outside 2-0.
Actually, the Americans have the tiebreaker over the Chiefs because they lead the series 2-1.
Yep. Yes. As it stands right now in terms of games in hand, the Chiefs have 1 game in hand on the Americans. But of course, the Americans do have the tiebreaker over the Chiefs. Popped foul and onto Worthen Road, 2-2. So right now the Chiefs would be the odd team out. Mm-hmm. Skied foul to the left and out of play. Hughie at third, Shackelford at second. just missed outside, full count. John Jennings on deck. And it's low for ball 4, and he walked him. First walk allowed by Karras. Here comes Rick DeAngelis, and that'll be all for Matt. So Matt Karras leaves after 3 1/3, allowing 10 hits, 1 walk. Thus far, 4 runs, 2 of which are earned. And he's responsible for all 3 runners on base. We have a pitching change come to you from center field at Lexington High School in Lexington, Mass. Americans 4, Blue Sox nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. New pitcher for the Lexington Blue Sox is Kelvin Guzman, making his first appearance of 2018 and his first appearance since August 1st of last year. He was 4-0 with a .677 ERA. This was in 2017, allowed in 20 2/3 innings, allowed 15 hits, 4 runs, 2 of which are earned, walked 20 and struck out 27. There was a game against Reading last year on July 9th in which he was pulled after 2 2/3 innings after allowing 1 unearned run and no hits, but had walked 6 to that point. Walk is not going to be an acceptable decision here, as here's John Jennings, 1 for 2 with an RBI single. Bases full of Americans, and the pitch is inside for ball 1. Guzman right now just wants a simple roller to short of second. Steady, misses outside, 2-0. All 3 runners on base are the responsibility of Karras. Guzman winds and delivers. Down the heart of the plate for strike 1. Jennings looked like he was in take until you see a strike mode there. Corner infielders in. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. The 2-2 pitch from Guzman popped up down the first baseline. Wojtek into foul territory, and he can't make the catch. So the count remains 2-2. A tough out to get in Jennings. He's had a phenomenal year, an MVP caliber year thus far. Guzman with the 2-2. Grounder to the left side. Curley to second for 1. On to first. Double play! 6-4-3, and the inning is over. And the Americans load the bases with 1 out and do not score. What an escape job there by Guzman. And after 3.5, we're halfway home. It is still the Americans 4 and the Blue Sox nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start at just $100 per game. Also, ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Middle third of the order, due up for the Blue Sox in the bottom of the fourth. Alex Wojtek, Dan Graham, and Jeff Vigers. Matt Karras' night ends 3 1/3 innings, 10 hits, 4 runs, only 2 of which are earned. 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 68 pitches, 47 for strikes.
Now it's 1-1.
1-1 the count to Wojtek. As he grounds this one to the left side, out of the reach of the third baseman, Shackelford, and the Blue Sox had their first base hit of the ball game. So here's Dan Graham. Graham could not convert a 7-pitch at-bat into a base hit or a walk. He flew out to left. In there for strike one. Wojtek picks up his first hit since July 2nd. That's in there for strike two. Wojtek 0 for 1 in stolen base attempts in his career with the Blue Sox. This is 4th year. This is line down the first base line and foul, and another Olay there by Morgan Brown. .53 pitches thus far for Smeglin. That's low for ball one. Danny's back in the count at 1-2. Wojtek had knee issues recently, and that's prevented him from catching and relegated him to first base and DH duty when he's played this year. Just outside, 2-2. Danny didn't even think about swinging at that one, so if he got rung up there, he was gonna, well. And he has a little excuse me swing at this one, and Wojtek kind of acts as a screen for Santos Ocampo, but he does end up throwing out Graham. It works as a sacrifice, as there's now a runner in scoring position with 1 down for Jeff Vigers. 4 left-handed hitters in a row in the Blue Sox lineup, as that's fouled away. Forget the car. What about that plane from Hanscom? Oh, it's a helicopter? Okay. This is grounded to the right side. Santos Ocampo will scoop it up. Fire onto first. Wojtek gets to third. But now there are 2 down on back-to-back groundouts. And that'll bring up Justin Silvestro. Silvestro grounded out to second, his first time up to end the second. Blue Sox have had a base runner in every inning except the second. They just got their first hit, leading off the inning by Wojtek. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Oofa. Going for Woburn with that swing, and it's 0-1. That's taken for ball one to even the count. In that direction? Yeah, it's, well, Woburn and Burlington border Lexington down that way. That's low, ball two.
I get what you're saying. I was just wondering.
Yeah. Well, you can't swing for Waltham at this field. Waltham's back that way. As that's into left field, and the Blue Sox are on the board. The softball players can swing for Waltham. Yep. It's usually Bedford in that direction to left field. Stroh picks up RBI number 9 on the season, pulling him into a tie with Richie Burgos for second on the team. And he's back safely there. Another throw, and Silvestro back safely. Silvestro has only attempted 1 stolen base this year. He was successful. In fact, in the 3 years he's played since returning from the Wachusett Dirt Dogs, as that's on the outside corner, 0-1. He's only attempted 2 stolen bases, successful with both. The 1 steal this year was against the Somerville Royals on June 19th. Another throw over to first. Smeglin's been close with some of these throws. He's had to deal with Barbosa twice, Feliciano, now Silvestro. Up and away to Tommy Two Bags, 1-1. If he can live up to his name here, he might plate the second run. He checked his swing and fouled it off to make it 1-2. Blue Sox on the board here, but still trail by 3. Trailed 2-0 after half an inning and 4-0 after 2.5. A little rainbow toss and Silvestro back safely. We're really rotating the mound there, Silvestro, and he hasn't even threatened a run. 2-2. Big gap in right center. Up and away, 3-2. And now you know Silvestro will be running with this pitch. So now's as good a time as any for Russo to crank one. Runner goes. Pitch is popped up and fouled onto Worthen Road, and it just misses the passing car. The Blue Sox have had some long at-bats against Smeglin, but those at-bats really haven't converted into offensive opportunities. Pitch number 7 is fouled off. Wojtek struck out on an 8-pitch at-bat. Graham flied out to left on a 7-pitch at-bat. This is the 8th pitch coming up to Russo. Might wear out Silvestro with all these foul balls. This is into left center field, but this will hang up long enough for the catch to be made by center for the out that retires the side. The same result as Graham's at-bat, a fly out the opposite way. Graham's long at bat in the second, that is. So 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. After 4 complete, Americans 4, Blue Sox 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon LSP37, Snapchat LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. So, Dom Zaire in back-to-back games, in 2 games, has become the first player since Taylor Ferguson in 2016 for the Blue Sox to have multiple outfield assists in a season. First pitch to Casey Santos Ocampo was a ball. Guzman's next pitch misses low, ball 2. Santos Ocampo 1 for 1 with a double, a run scored, and an RBI. Guzman misses up and in, 3-0. And I told you about the walks being an issue for Guzman last season. He went to 2-0 on Jennings before getting the double play ball. Here he is at 3-1 now to Santos Ocampo. A little update on some Blue Sox alumni for you. We have Jeff Costello and Sal Frelick, as that's on the inside corner, full count. 2 of the 4 generations of Lexington High shortstops that have graced the Blue Sox uniforms in recent years. They're both playing in the Futures League. And that's up and in for ball 4, and the Americans have a leadoff base runner. Costello playing for the Nashua Silver Knights, and Frelick playing for the North Shore Navigators, and they both played in the Futures League All-Star Game. Frelick is tied for the league lead in home runs, as this is skied into center field. Speaking of home runs, it's hit a long way, but it's going to hang up long enough to be caught by Barbosa for out number 1. So Frelick tied for the league lead in home runs in the Futures League with 7, and tied for the league lead in RBIs with 34. Costello batting .274, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs, and 25 runs scored for the Silver Knights, as that's up and in for ball 1 to Kyle Cortese, who's having a breakout game. 2 for 2 with a single and a double. Dave Center flying out. He's now 1 for 3. Throw over to first and back safely to Santos Ocampo. Well, the franchise that is now the Nashua Silver Knights, my cousin actually played for when they were in the Can-Am League. My cousin Will Groff, who played his college ball at SUNY Cortland and was drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals in 2006. Runner bluffs off of first, and the pitch is inside, 2-1. Little family connection there. Throw over to first. Santos Ocampo back safely. Mentioned earlier, Santos Ocampo 3 for 3 and stolen base. This has popped up, and this will land just shy of a car parked on the near side of Worthen Road to make it 2-2. Yeah, exactly. Two and two the count to Cortese. And an off-speed pitch gets strike 3 called for Cortese. And that's the first strikeout of the game for Guzman, and they're 2 down for Mike Gaddu. Gaddu is 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out to second. Runner goes, the pitch is a strike, and Vigers isn't even going to try and throw him out. Vigers has a good arm, but Santos Ocampo got such a good jump. Down 3, don't want to risk an error. Down 3 and with 2 outs, a little excuse me swing to the right side, and Guzman wanted to play that, but should have been Silvestro's ball. That'll be an infield single for Gaddu. He's now 2 for 3. That'll bring up Dan Cacciola, the number 9 hitter. Cacciola 0 for 2. He pops this one up. Foul over the screen and out of play. 0-1. First and third, 2 out. That's blocked by Vigers, and that'll even the count at 1. Americans had 2 in the first and 2 in the fourth, 2 in the third rather, and have had opportunities for much more. They have 11 hits. They've left 6. Blue Sox finally got their first run and first hit in the fourth. That's low, 2-1. As it stands right now, 4 runs, 11 hits, 1 error, and 6 left for the Americans. 1 run, 2 hits, 3 errors, and 4 left for the Blue Sox. This is chopped to the right side. Wojtek diving stop! He'll underhand, but it's not in time, and the run scores. An infield single and RBI for Cacciola. And the Americans lead 5-1. Wojtek laying out for that one, but Guzman was slow off the rubber to get to first. And that allowed Cacciola to reach. Lineup turns over for Charlie Hughey, who's 1 for 3. And now every batter in the Americans lineup has a hit tonight. That's in there for strike 1. "12 hits on the ball game for the Americans. Foul tipped into the mitt, and it's 0-2. Off-speed pitch in the dirt. Throw down to second, and just barely getting back safely is Gaddu. 2 runs, 1 walk, and a hit, and two hits, a walk, and a run, I should say, for the Americans here on the top of the 5th. Looking for more, trying to put this one to bed and put their, as that's on the outside corner for strike 3 called. Hughie doesn't like the call, but it's 2 strikeouts in the inning for Guzman, but the Americans get the run back, and after 4.5, it is the Americans 5 and the Blue Sox 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. Well, Dom's there certainly has the pedigree to have a cannon for an arm. He had 19 assists in just under 200 career games at Fisher, including 9 as a freshman. And here's Josue Feliciano, who will square and foul it for strike 1. Sway was hit by a pitch his first time up in the 3rd. That was on a 1-2 count. This game could easily be completely over by now, but the Americans have had at least 2 hits in every inning. But they've left 8, and they only have 5 runs to show for it. 1-1 the count. 5 runs, 12 hits, 1 error, and 8 left for the Americans, as that's inside 2-1. 1 run, 2 hits, 3 errors, and 4 left for the Blue Sox. So by the same token, the Blue Sox could easily have this game much closer. This is down the 3rd baseline and foul. Here even the Melrose Americans dugout cheering on Sway because, you know, Sway is a longtime stalwart of the Boston amateur baseball scene. As he takes upstairs 3-2, he's a well-loved guy. Close to some of the Red Sox players, too. And, of course, with Manny Del Carmen, who is in the bullpen tonight. As this is in the left center field, and that'll get down for a base hit. Gets past the center fielder, Cacchiola, and Sway is on his way to second with a stand-up double, his first extra base hit of the year. So if the Blue Sox are going to get a rally going, this is the start they need. A leadoff double. Here's Barbosa, 0 for 1, reached on an error in the 1st. Was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. And he's going to try and butt his way on. It's Gonna go between the pitcher, third baseman, and catcher, and it's an infield single. And Barbosa, with his speed, should have seen that coming. And that's going to bring Orazio Azzarello out to the mound. It looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter. Watch it. And we got a pinch hitter as Cam Meyer is going to make his Blue Sox debut here. So that ends the night for Dom Zaire, who was 0 for 2. Meyer, well, he's from Holy Cross. Just finished his freshman season with the Crusaders. Batted .210 with 6 doubles and 10 RBIs. He's got first and third, nobody out, and looking to make a good impression on his Holy Cross alumnus manager and all the Holy Cross current players and alumni on the Blue Sox roster. Runner goes from first, and the pitch is fouled off. 1-1. Meyer played his high school ball at Salisbury Prep. Played 3 seasons at Newton South and 2 seasons at Salisbury. 2-1 the count to Meyer. Inching off of first is Barbosa. He bluffs, the pitch is high. Ball 3 as the alarm bells sound in the Melrose bullpen. And it looks like Erin Hamilton Grenham is warming up. The 3-1 runner goes. The pitch is high. Ball 4. The bases are loaded with nobody out. So Cam Meyer comes on and draws a walk in his first Blue Sox plate appearance. So the tying run comes to the plate in the person of Ross Curley, and he's hit 1 this year. That was a walk-off. Let's see what he's got here. Good speed on the bases. The pitch skied into left center field, and it's going to be shallow. Will Sway tag? He will. The throw is offline, and it goes towards the Blue Sox dugout. The Americans are protesting that the Blue Sox players outside the dugout interfered with it. The umpires are going to talk about it. I think Sway was going to score anyway. So he's going back, but then he started going before the ball got to the facing of the dugout. Rick Pooling and Glenn Cole having a long discussion about this.
Get all that stuff out of there. What? Get all those buckets out of there.
So Sway tagged initially. So
Who's out? Why? Send him back to third.
well, now they're saying, are they saying Sway is out?
I think so.
Or are they just sending the runners back to their bases? Okay. So there's one out, and Sway goes back to third. So and now Rick DeAngelo's telling the players to get the stuff out of there. It's always been out there all these years, and it's never caused that much of a argument until now.
Where?
Straight over from you. See? He's just moving in
So it's first, so the bases are still loaded. There's one out. And we're going to have a pinch hitter as Nate Wolf is pinch hitting. And this is going to be it for Sean Smeglin, because there was already one mound visit this inning. Yep. So that'll do it for Sean Smeglin. He leaves. He's responsible for all three runners on base. And we have a pitching change coming to you from a wacky ball game here at center field at Lexington High School in Lexington, Mass. Americans 5, Blue Sox 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD copy of this or any past LSP video broadcast, or one of several different designs of bumper stickers. Visit localsportsproductions.com/store or the LSP Facebook page after the game to place your order. And remember, all orders within the continental United States come with free shipping. New pitcher for the Melrose Americans is the left-hander Erin Hamilton Grenham. And he's brought in to face the left-hander Wolf. Hamilton Grenham making his sixth appearance of the season, 1-0 with 2 saves. Has not allowed a run this season, 8 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. First appearance this season against the Blue Sox. And Wolf takes ball 1. So after that weird sequence where the ball was interfered with, so only 1 out in the inning. Sway still at third. Barbosa at second. Meyer at first, and that's in there for strike 1 to even the count. Hamilton Grenham pitched 3 innings of 2-hit ball with 2 walks and 2 strikeouts against the Alabrandies this past Monday. That's down and away, 2-1. Sean Smeglin's night ends after 4 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 2 hit batsmen, 1 wild pitch, 82 pitches, 51 for strikes. That catches the outside corner, and it's 2-2. Corner infielders in here with the bases loaded. The 2-2 popped foul, but it's going to go out of play. All 3 runners on base, still the responsibility of Smeglin. Blue Sox players instructed to get all the equipment out away from the facing of the Blue Sox dugout. The 2-2 into center field. This should be deep enough to score Feliciano as it's caught by Cacciola. The throw comes to third, and Feliciano scores standing up. So there's the sacrifice fly. RBI for Wolf. They're now 2 down. That run is charged to Smeglin. Now first and second. 2 down. And Dan Graham at the plate. Run again charged to Smeglin, so still no runs allowed this year by Hamilton. Grenham going for Burlington with that swing was Graham. And it's strike 1. Graham is 0 for 2 with a fly out to left and a ground out to second. Takes outside, ball 1 to even the count. Hamilton Grenham in his 3rd season with the Americans. Career has dropped his ERA substantially this year. Graham hits this one to center field. Cacciola camps under it, and that'll do it. And after loading the bases with just 1 out, with nobody out rather, the Blue Sox only get 1. They were probably going to get 1 anyway with the... They got the result anyway. They wouldn't have played it any more runs with or without the call going their way on Curley's fly ball. So after 5 complete, it is the Americans 5 and the Blue Sox 2. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
So, Rick, Wolf's now first.
Yeah.
Myers in left.
No, Maya's out. Shalimer is in left. Shalimer is replacing Maya. Replaced.
LSP's next broadcast is Sunday night at 7:25 p.m. when the Blue Sox visit the Watertown Reds. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel, or buy a DVD of the game at the LSP store. New pitcher for the Blue Sox is C.J. McKinnott. McKinnott making his 4th appearance on the mound. All of his appearances have been in relief. 1-0 with a 2.10 ERA, 3 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run allowed, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Oh, 0-1 the count to Will Shackelford. That misses, and it's 1-1. Shackelford 1 for 3. Reached on fielder's choice and scored in the first. Singled in the fourth. Comes up empty there, and it's 1-2. Night ends for Kelvin Guzman after an inning and 2/3, that's outside 2-2. What you got, Dano? 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks. Check swing. They'll appeal. He did not go. 87. Nice. 87-mile-an-hour fastball there, but just missed. And the 3-2. Misses inside, ball 4. And the Americans once again have the leadoff man aboard for the 4th time in 6 innings. 5-2 our score. Correction, for the 4th time 6 innings. That'll bring up Chris Hopkins. Hopkins reached base all 3 times, 2 singles and a walk, and he takes ball 1. So 2 earned runs on the ledger. And Shackelford gets back safely. 2 earned runs on the ledger for Sean Smeglin. Big cut and a miss. 1-1. This is lined over the head of Silvestro into right field for a base hit. And Morgan Brown we taken over at second base. So first and second, nobody out. One more defensive change for you.
Left field, third base, and first base. Salima's in left. Left field, second. Did I say?
Yeah, you said third.
Sorry, left field, second base, and first.
Gotcha. Got Andrew Salima in left field now, and Nate Wolf taking over at first after pinch hitting for Wojtek. Upstairs for ball 1 to John Jennings. 1 for 3. He chops this one foul, and it's 1-1. Up and in, 2-1. Not been an easy inning for McKinnott. Down low, 3-1. Nobody warming yet for the Blue Sox. And that's going to bring Rick DeAngelis out to the mound. Mandy Del Carmen was throwing. He might have to throw again here. Or is he ready? So 3-1 on the outside corner, full count. The 3-2 pitch, upstairs, ball 4. So the base is loaded. First 3 men in the inning reach off McKinnott, a single and 2 walks. And maybe a chance now for Melrose to put this one to bed. They have, I keep saying that, but could this be the one? Casey Santos Ocampo, 1 for 1, a double, a walk, and a sac fly. He swings and misses for strike 1. Could easily be a much higher scoring game. McKinnon would love a comebacker right here. And time is called. Santos Ocampo scored 2 runs. Driven in 2 runs. He grounds this one to short. Curley to second for 1. On to first. High throw. They got him. Run scores, but now 2 out. So it's 6-2. Runner at third. So McKinnon does get his double play ball, but puts the Americans back up 4, matching their largest lead. No RBI on the play. And that's high for ball 1 to Dave Center. Center's 1 for 3 with 2 ribbies. That's the second double play of the game turned by the Blue Sox. That's at the knees on the outside corner for strike 1. Hopkins at third. Fouled off, and it's 1-2. In the bottom of the 6th, the Blue Sox will have 6, 7, and 8 due up. Vigers, Brown, and Russo. The pitch from McKinnon. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, it could have been a lot worse, but the Americans do get their lead back up to 4 with 1 run on 1 hit, 2 walks, and 1 left. After 5.5, Americans 6, Blue Sox 2. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. So here's Jeff Vigers to lead things off in the bottom of the 6th. Blue Sox have not been able to get it to closer than 3. And Vigers swings at a high one and fouls it off for strike 1. Vigers is 0 for 2. Popped up to third and grounded out to second. Vigers wanted to bunt his way on. He's got the legs to do it, but he pulls back and it's ball 1. Vigers, one of the fastest catchers you'll see in the Intercity League. Chris Bosco among Probably one of the few in his class in terms of speed for catchers. That missed down and away, and it's 2-1 to Vigo. Maine Del Carmen warming in the bullpen. It'll be a good time for the Blue Sox' biggest offensive inning of the year. That'll be fouled off. It'll be 2-2. Blue Sox haven't scored more than 5 runs in an inning this year. Of course, the last time they scored 5 when trailing, that was a walk-off in the 7th. Vigers down the right field line, but he was just out in front of that one. And that'll make it, and it'll keep the count at 2-2. Stay back on that just a split second more, and you might have a 6-3 ball game. Vigers and Brown and Russo. Vigers fouls it the other way. Overcompensated a little bit there. Erin Hamilton Grenham still out there for the Americans. The 2-2. Waited on and chopped to the right side. Scoop by Santos Ocampo, underhands to first. 1 down, and Vigers is 0 for 3. I'll bring up Morgan Brown, getting his first at-bat of the ball game. Came in defensively in the top half this inning. Silvestro ends his night 1 for 2. That'll up his average. Brown comes up empty. Good off-speed pitch there for strike 1. Brown in 11 games is a .375 hitter, 6 for 16, with 1 double and 2 RBIs. Catches the inside corner, and it's 0-2. Swing and a miss. Let's see if Thomas can get started with 2. Russo 0 for 2, pop up to third, fly out to left. And Russo skies this one into center field. Back goes Cacciola. There have been a lot of hard-hit balls in Cacciola's direction tonight, but he's tracked them all down, and that'll do it. The Blue Sox go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 6th. We go to the top of the 7th. It is still the Americans 6 and the Blue Sox 2. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start at just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. couple of changes for the Blue Sox. Derlin Tejeda is now catching. And Manny Del Carmen takes over on the mound. Del Carmen making his third appearance on the mound this season, 1-0. No runs allowed, 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And that is ball 1 to the number 7 hitter, Kyle Cortese, who's 2 for 3. On the outside corner, strike 1. What do you got, Dan? 86. Remember, Cortese was 0 for 16 coming into play tonight, but it's really exploded tonight with a single, a double, 2 for 3. The pitch, swing and a miss. 89-mile-an-hour fastball there, and it's 1-2. You don't see the 90s very often in the Intercity League. There are 2 pitchers I know of that a swing and a miss at a high fastball, and there's one down there. 2 pitchers I know of that have top 90 in Intercity League play. Well, actually, I shouldn't say Intercity League play, just Intercity League pitchers. Jared Frenny and Dave Ahern. Down on the Cape, Dave would pitch as well as... I have the scouting report. But Dave Ahern, in the games when we would go down to the Cape, they had the radar gun going. That's ball 1 to Gadoo. And Dave would hit 91 with his fastball. He'd pitch in addition to play the outfield and first base. Fouled off, and it's 1-1. Did Dave ever pitch for us? I don't, like in a regular season game? 1-1 the count. On the outside corner with a fastball, 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Del Carmen. 2 down, and that'll bring up Dan Cacciola, who is 1 for 3. 6 runs, 13 hits, 1 error, and 9 left for the Americans. For the Blue Sox, 2 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors, and 6 left. 1-0 the count to Cacciola, 1 for 3 with an RBI. Next offering. Down the left field line is going to slice foul unless Salima can get to it, and he can't. And that'll make it 1-1. In the bottom of the 7th, the Blue Sox are going to need another big inning to come back. Haven't had many this inning, this year. They'll have Feliciano, Barbosa, and Salima due up. In there for strike 2 to make it 1-2 to Cacciola. Everybody for the Americans has got 4 turns at the plate tonight. You don't see that often in a 7-inning game. Upstairs, 2-2. But really, you're leading the defending Intercity League champions 6-2, but you feel like you should have a lot more with 13 hits. Pop foul, out of play. And left 9. I've had a base runner in every inning to this point. But it's 2-2. To Cacciola with 2 out and the bases empty. Del Carmen winds and delivers. And Roxbury's finest misses high. 3-2. Hyde Park. Oh, I thought it was from Roxbury. Hyde Park, my mistake. Where was Carlos Pena from? I know he went to Northeastern. Was he was a mess. He was a Boston kid, right? Haverhill, okay. Payoff pitch, grounded down the first base line. Four for four. Oh yeah, did he fish 4 for 4 or 4 for 5? Yeah.
And you asked about, I don't know what made me think of this now, but I mean, I haven't looked at every single one, but I have not found anybody that's ever had a 5-hit game since 2006.
I blinked, but I didn't flinch. Yeah. Yep. Obviously, you can tell, folks, with the camera, the fence is in the way. Don't anticipate a cracked lens where the camera is right now. Maybe someday we'll set it up with a camera operator down the first base line. But for now, just... Oh, yeah. Thankfully, that was not the fault of a baseball. That was the fault of a falling speaker. Oh, it took a wicked hop on Morgan Brown and into center field. I don't think you can give him an error on that one. That's a base hit. That's probably the loudest ball we've heard all year hit. Wow. This be the hardest hit ball we've had all year, and it just goes for a single. We are at 14 now. We've tied the... Reading had 14 hits on opening night, and that was a loss. And this is ground to the right side. Redemption opportunity for Brown. He'll throw on to first. And the inning is over. Blue Sox need 4 to tie, 5 to win. It is the Americans 6 and the Blue Sox 2. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon LSP37, Snapchat LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. So last week we had Lamar Ray pitch an 8-out save for the Alabrandies, in which he retired all 8 batters he faced. And Erin Hamilton Grenham looking to do the same with his 3rd save of the year on the line. Josue Feliciano to lead things off. He's 1 for 1. Been hit by a pitch and roped a double. He takes a high strike, strike 1. So even if everybody gets on base here, the tying run would be due up 4th this inning. Sway not happy with that call either. That went into the dirt. I guess it crossed the plate in the strike zone, but so he's got to channel that frustration here into a big base hit. And he lines this one into left center field, but this will be caught by the center fielder, Cacciola. Cacciola has flagged down everything that's been hit his way. There have been some tough balls, some hard-hit balls. And he's passed every test. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th. The lineup turns over for Aaron Barbosa, who's 1 for 2 with a single. And with the number of lefties in the lineup, that's played right into Hamilton Grenham's hands, trying to get this save. 1-0 the count to Barbosa. Hamilton Grenham came in with 1 out and the bases loaded in the 5th. Surrendered a sacrifice fly to Wolf. Then got Graham to fly out to center. Tied 6 in a row to this point, but has a 2-0 count to Barbosa. And he takes high ball 3. Andrew Salima on deck. And if we get that far, Ross Curley. The 3-0. High for ball 4. And that puts Barbosa on base. He's reached base all 4 times tonight. With an error, a hit by pitch, a single, and now a 4-pitch walk. That's like hitting for the cycle of ways to reach base, right?
There's only one other way to reach.
Intentional. Well, we get intentional walk. Okay. And Salima comes up empty for strike 1 and a high one. Fielder's choice. Fielder's. It's a better pitch than the one he swung at there, but it's 0-2. Salima takes in the dirt, ball 1. Swing and a miss, a low one. And the Blue Sox are down to their final strike. Second strikeout for Hamilton Grenham. Let's see what Ross Curley can do. Can he erase his 0 for 3 with a couple of hard hit flyouts? Taken low for ball 1. Blue Sox have only 2 runs, but Curley is the 3rd batter to have 4 plate appearances tonight. It's been a frustrating night for the Blue Sox offense as that's down and in 2-0. They've left 6. It feels like they've left a lot more. Breaking ball comes back over the plate, and it's 2-1. This could be a much different game in either direction, really. But both teams have had missed opportunities. Plenty. Curley inside-out swing, and it's caught by the second baseman, Casey Santos Ocampo, and that's the ball game in a game that took 2 hours and 8 minutes. The winning pitcher is Sean Smeglin. Smeglin improves to 2-2. The losing pitcher is Matt Karras. Karras falls to 1-1. The save goes to Erin Hamilton Grenham. It's his 3rd. The final totals for the Lexington Blue Sox, who fall to 12-6, 2 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors, and 7 left. And for the Melrose Americans, who snapped their 7-game losing streak and improved to 10-12, 6 runs, 14 hits, 1 error, and 10 left. Our players of the game are Erin Hamilton Grenham, 8 innings of 2 2/3 innings of no-hit relief for the save. And let's see. Hopkins had 3 hits and 2 runs scored, and Casey Santos Ocampo, a couple of fine defensive plays.
You can only pick one.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, it's another frustrating game for the Blue Sox. They'll try to regroup for Sunday night against the Reds in a big matchup. And that one definitely has playoff seeding implications. So with that said, this has been a presentation of the Lexington Blue Sox in association with Local Sports Productions, serving Greater Boston student-athletes since 2011. Copyright 2018, unauthorized redistribution of any portion of this broadcast without the express written permission of the Lexington Blue Sox or Local Sports Productions is strictly prohibited. LSP's next broadcast is Sunday night at 7:25 p.m. when the Blue Sox visit the Watertown Reds. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel, or buy a DVD of the game at the LSP store. And be sure to follow LSP on the web, localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon LSP37, Snapchat LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. Once again, the final score from center field at Lexington High School in Lexington, Mass. It is the Melrose Americans 6 and the Lexington Blue Sox 2. My name is Sam Feely, reminding you freelance isn't free. Thanks for tuning in.